If you've ever prayed for anything, if you've ever expected anything, if you know somebody that has ever prayed for something, or is expecting something, this recording is for you. Kindly share to them. Something happened to me this Sunday morning. Yesterday, that's Saturday, we used to have a workers meeting on Saturdays. Our workers meeting by 4, but then I made up my mind I was going to go to church earlier. That's like 12, so that I can be able to meet up with my own portion of the work before we finish workers meeting. That's because I'm slow. I'm quite. If you follow me for some time, you know that I'm quite slow. So I had to go earlier to be able to meet up. Like 8:30 or 9. This is how the Spirit of God was on my case. I stand up and go to church. I'm like, hello sir, excuse sir. Me and you have already talked. You say we're going to go to church 12 o'clock. This is like what, 8:39. What is the come and go about? I just stood up, went to have my bath. Just for me to have my bath and dress up, the Spirit of God was troubling me. At least be fast. The pressure was so much at some point that I started crying. I'm like, God, you are seeing now. I'm dressing up. It's not like I'm lying down or something. I'm dressing up. I'm trying to meet up with, I don't know what it is I want to do, but I'm dressing. Why are you still shouting on top of my head? Why are you following me around? Why are you policing me around? Like, I had my bath. I ran out of the house because the pressure was much on me. I got to church was locked. By the time I went, I discovered that church was locked. We use an event center for my church, and the event center is big. There are other facilities inside. So I asked other people around. I'm like, please, the person that takes care of. So the event center actually has a security man that is not our church member that mans the place, is their staff. So I'm like, please, the person that takes care of this place, you see, can I get his phone number? I got his phone number. This time I was hungry. God did not even allow me. Let me just eat food. He said, come and be going. I was hungry, so I walked to the restaurant. While walking, I now called the man. I'm like, hello sir, I came to church is locked. We came to clean church, and on. And then he was like, no, that he was not around, but he's now in church. Abi? That's the conversation went along that line. So I said, okay, if he's back in church, let me just get food, I'll be back. He said, no problem. I entered, bought food. If you know me, if I say I bought food because I like food. So I bought food, water, and drink. When I finished buying, when I was about paying, God now said, that exact thing you ordered now, go back, go and order for the man too. I ordered. I don't cry from house now. I will come, they argue. I never have strength. I ordered, and then I went back to church. So I gave him one, and then he was like, oh my God, as if he knew that I don't have anything in my stomach. In my mind, I'm like, I didn't knew nothing. It's Jesus that knew, and he didn't let me breathe. So I sat down outside, he sat down outside, and then we both started eating. I was hungry, so I just sat down to eat. I discovered that all the urgency, all the stress, the lack of peace, everything just vanished. Then it occurred to me that God will go through great length. He will go to great length. Whether you can see it, you cannot see it, it doesn't matter. God is working for you. He's working to, get you that thing that you desire, that you need, to meet you at the point of your need. Because I felt led to ask him how is he coping with cash and all of those things. And then he said he just came back from going to go and beg their manager for money so that he can eat. That unknown, see the statement that God, he said unknown to him, God was already in the works, to make provision for him. And he's not even a member of our church. If he was a member of the church, you now say it was just, you understand me? But then, see, if you can see behind the scenes of the many, many things that God is doing to get to your need, I promise you, you'll be a lot less worried. In fact, you at some point you'll be like, is there any point to even bring prayer point? God is working for me. God was disturbing maybe around 9, and this was maybe about an hour later or so, or about an hour 30 minutes later. that all of these things was happening. And look at the amount of pressure that God was putting on me, just to meet someone else's need. Not just need. It's not, this one is not need of salvation. It's not need of healing. It's food. Do you understand me? Food. If God is so particular, so intentional about something, as will I say unspiritual, or be as trivial as food is, go ahead to think of how God feels about your healing, your protection, your provision, your shelter, your relationship, many things. I just want to encourage you, if you've ever prayed for anything, or maybe you didn't even pray, because it's possible that Baba did not even pray himself. God just look and say, hunger is going to deal with this man, let me just help him. Do you understand? God is in works for you. He's going to great lengths for you. You might not see it. It doesn't mean that he's not doing it. We might not see everything happen in the foreground. I mean, just think of any time that you've ever just had something the exact time that you needed it, and then you're like, I didn't even pray for this, and how did God get it on time? The Bible says that I don't forget Bible, but I shall know there's something about, before you call upon me, I will answer, while you are yet speaking, I would hear. So he knows our need even before we table them, and he's already at works for us. Why should you now pray? Maybe that's your own question. Since God knows and is working, why should I now pray? It just strengthens your faith in God. It just strengthens your resolve in God. Imagine if that man had prayed and say, God, I don't know where I'm going to get food from, but I pray that you provide. He might even say, if he's somebody like me, I'll say, I don't know how you're going to provide food. I cannot say I'm trusting you, but I'm sure I'm praying for you to provide. And then, minutes later, God just shows up. You see, you'll be encouraged, to cast your burdens upon him. It will strengthen your faith, your resolve in God. That's one part of the gist. The other part of the gist, what is it called? I came to church, of course. Now I finished eating, balanced myself, and now stay arranging chairs from around 12 till around 4. Then, of course, our service unit resumed. When they now resumed, my other unit leaders, unit elder brothers and sisters now saying, I did not arrange the chair well. Chair that I've been arranging for 4 hours, they just came and said they have to start rearranging it or more. I just carried chair, went and sat at the back, plugged earpiece, and was making call. And then all of them were just looking at me like, is this girl okay? Like, are you alright? If you wanted to sit down, okay. That would have been me. If I were in their shoes, that's what I would have said. I'm like, if you wanted to sit down and make call, why didn't you just sit down in your house? Why do you come to church and then you just plug earpiece and you're making call? Then another thing occurred to me that, see, thank God that God is not man. And that when we are told that, God is going to judge us by the intent of our hearts, it should not scare us. Because if now me, they take attendance yesterday for workers meeting. Let's say, for instance, that workers meeting is a course, right? I would have had carryover just from, let's even say that workers meeting, maybe the score is 10 over 100. Just the way I carried Chester at the back, I would have given just say, this girl, you carry over the entire course. Anything you write, if you like have 90%, you carry over this course. But then God saw my heart. By this time, I was exhausted. I was tired. I've done everything that I could, made arrangements to come early, came early, 4 hours early. Do you understand me? To start arranging chairs, and then I still didn't get it. I just sat down and then I decided I'll just look at what they are doing and learn how to do it. And then I was also grateful that God judged us by the intent of our hearts. God saw my heart. He knew I was not even trying, to just be silly or have this, lackadaisical attitude. God, I will not bite my tongue because of English in Jesus' name. I was not just trying to be silly or nothing with the work of God. And I just had peace knowing that, I did what God will have me do. I cannot even say it was not convenient. Well, I did what God will have me do, and how that God will just judge us by our chest, by the thing that's inside our hearts, our intentions. And this is how one thing is, good for somebody, or somebody doesn't get punished for one thing, and that person gets punished for it, because God can see our hearts. This is why one person gets blessed for something and another person does not get blessed. Do you understand? For the same thing. It's because God sees our hearts. The story of the widow's mite. If now we be human beings go church that day, and people gave many things. People gave hundreds of thousands of naira, and then somebody brought maybe like 50 naira or 100 naira, and God saying that offering 9 big pass every other thing. If you don't have so much to give to God, this is an encouragement to you that God sees your heart. Do your best. Maybe you're like me, you're saying I'm slow, or you lack one character, and you're saying because of this, because of that, I'm not serving God the way other people are doing it with so much zeal, so much whatever. Just know that God sees your heart. Do your best and relax with that. I hope that this blesses you. If this blesses you in any way, kindly share to at least one person. If you don't want to share to one person, share to one person. Even if you don't want to share, please. Thank you so much. See ya.